Good morning, everyone. It is Tuesday, May 30th. It's going to feel like Monday for a lot of people after the Memorial Day holiday yesterday, but back to work and school for a lot of people today. Before we jump into your headlines, I want to remind you, you can find us on our Inform YouTube channel as well, live on Facebook. You can find it later on the day, anytime during the day on your Facebook feed, and we make it into a podcast as well. So go to inform.com/podcast and look for the Inform Minute if that's how you would prefer to listen to this. Lisa, Scott, Lydia here, and kind of a active pattern that we're in.
Lots of thunderstorm chances. I know a lot of folks do need rain, so there's plenty of opportunity all over the 10-day forecast. I joked earlier that it felt like I was listing off the days of the week, like when you're in kindergarten and you're practicing learning the days of the week, because our thunderstorm chances are today, tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
All the days.
Yeah. Pretty much every day. By next Tuesday, it looks like the pattern quiets down a little bit. Not a big washout, not a super soaker of a system. It's not going to rain all day, any day. These are just those afternoon thunderstorms that bubble up in the heat of the day. You know, it downpours for a few minutes and then it's gone. And then it could happen again a few hours later, that sort of thing. So heavy rain, thunder, lightning, maybe some small hail. Those would be your main threats with any of the storms that do get a little bit on the feisty side. We'll watch those develop later on today. In the meantime, we're soaking up the sun. Temps in the 80s this afternoon. UV index up to an 8 today, which is pretty high. It goes on a scale to 12. So 8 out of 12 is pretty high. Gives you a burn time of about 25 minutes. So grab the sunscreen, drink the water, find the shade, all those things. And then we basically do this all over again for tomorrow. We'll start off dry and sunny. There's lots of warm moments and dry moments if you want to be outside at the park, at the pool, and then we'll watch for spotty storms later on.
Okay. Not as windy though, right?
Not as windy. Yeah, that's
Such
a good bonus.
Rough couple of days with the wind.
So windy.
It was awfully blustery all weekend long. Today, about 5 to 15 miles an hour, which is what I call a normal North Dakota, northern Minnesota breeze. You might notice a little bit of air movement, but it won't be nearly as gusty as what we felt over the weekend and yesterday. So that is a bonus too.
Oh, thank goodness.
Temp about 85 today in Fargo. So yeah, nice summer-like day. Just
hot wrap up to May, right? I keep thinking, I mean, it's May 30th, and wow, this is
It
hot.
is. Average high today is about 73 to 75. So this is around 10 degrees warmer. And we've been in the 90s a lot lately. Fargo has seen 6 days in the 90s.
Wow.
Yesterday we were at 90 degrees. We did achieve 90 yesterday for Memorial Day. So that's toasty.
It is.
Record high today though is 104. So
nowhere near that.
not the hottest we've ever been, but this is warm to wrap up May. Yep. Kind of feels a little July-like.
Yes.
No way.
With 80s and thunderstorm chances in the afternoon. So, yeah. Keep the storm tracker app handy. Might need it. Keep an eye on the radar. Yesterday, I watched one of my neighbors go out to mow, and I saw a shower pop up on the radar, and I was like, uh-oh. And then, ran inside and finished it later in the afternoon. So, don't be my neighbor. Sorry if you're watching.
Thank you, Lydia.
Thanks. All right. Let's dive into local headlines this morning. Right now, despite getting some of that rain overnight, fire danger continues to be a problem in most of Minnesota this morning. Most of the state still under that extreme fire risk right now. Other parts remain in the high and very high categories. However, burn restrictions across much of the western portion of the state of Minnesota have actually been lifted.
That is a bit of good news. New this morning, the Benson County Sheriff's Office is now confirming that a child is safe and one person is in jail after an abduction on the Spirit Lake Reservation over the weekend. According to a Facebook post by the Sheriff's Office, the Bureau of Indian Affairs and the FBI were both involved in this case. We are still working to learn who was arrested. Stick with the news leader for updates.
New overnight, a car crashed into a traffic light pole on South University Drive in Fargo. We had a viewer send in the video around 2:45 this morning. It was taken right off the I-94 East exit onto University. The front end of the vehicle was all smashed in. A tow truck was hooking up to the vehicle to take it away. Still not much information on what exactly happened, but the road was closed for about 25 minutes overnight as crews worked to clean up that area. We are still working to find out if there were any injuries in that accident.
This was pretty crazy video. If you didn't see it on First News, I believe there's some video or a picture on inform.com. We're working to learn when a man could be in court after he slammed his SUV into someone's apartment building. One person inside the building was actually hurt. In fact, the front half of the vehicle, though it's just crazy to see half the vehicle inside the apartment, through the wall, through the patio door. It happened yesterday afternoon around 3 at a building kind of in the area of Fleet Farm in South Fargo. Police say 26-year-old Jorge Sanchez was driving the car when it hit the apartment. He claims he confused the gas pedal and the brake pedal. He's now facing reckless endangerment charges. The person who was inside, as I mentioned, was hurt, but a friend actually brought that person to the hospital. So we're also, going to kind of track an update on his condition as well.
Big day today. Governor Tim Walz is set to sign a bill that will legalize recreational marijuana in Minnesota. You'll recall that bill made it through several hearings and committees. It got finalized just days before the session ended. It will take effect August 1st, and the process to establish retail licensing, that could take about a year.
Construction will start this week on a new Clay County detox facility. That new building's going to go up on 15th Avenue North in Moorhead, which is just northwest of the Dilworth Walmart where it's going to be. It's going to be 4 times larger than the current detox unit, 21,000 square feet. That will make it so they can double the number of beds. So now they'll be able to have 32 beds. The need is growing, so this is a good thing. The nearly $17 million project is expected to take about 14 months to complete.
Starting today, the West Fargo Public Library will be switching over to its summer hours. That means the library will be opening at 10 in the morning, Monday through Saturday. It will close at 9 o'clock, Monday through Thursday. On Fridays, the library will close at 6 and at 5 o'clock on Saturdays. On Sundays, the library is closed.
Today, the True Family YMCA in Grand Forks is hosting a neighborhood block party. The party is going to be held in the Y parking lot from 4:30 to 6:30 today. Games, food, music, and prizes, everything is free and open to the public.
Sounds like a fun event. National headline today, the House Rules Committee will consider the debt ceiling deal that was reached by President Joe Biden and House Speaker Kevin McCarthy over the weekend. That agreement would cut spending and suspend the debt ceiling through January 1st of 2025. This will be a big test for the deal because some of the Republicans on that committee have been critical of the agreement so far. If they vote against the deal, it would fail unless some Democrats vote to advance the bill out of the committee for a full House vote. Now, if the U.S. can't borrow more money, as soon as June 5th, the U.S. would default on some of its debt, and many economists think that that would trigger a recession.
The Miami Heat are headed to the NBA Finals. Miami won Game 7 against the Celtics, 103-84 last night. Miami will now face off against the Denver Nuggets. The finals start June 1st, which I believe is Thursday. You can watch them right here on WDAY.
Exciting. And the Stanley Cup final is also set. The Vegas Golden Knights punched their ticket last night. They beat the Dallas Stars in 6 games to win the Western Conference. They'll gear up. Their first game is against the Florida Panthers. It's scheduled for Saturday night at 7. You can also watch that series on WDAY.
Hot Mic with Dom Izzo coming up here less than an hour, 9 to 11 on WDAY Extra, also on Inform.com. Decision day is looming for NDSU's Grant Nelson. He needs to decide by tomorrow whether he stays in the NBA draft or returns to school. Plus, Kindred's Abby Dutcher is headed to the College World Series with Alabama, just a year after winning the Miss Basketball and a state title with the Vikings.
Cool stuff. Make sure to tune in, like you said, 9 to 11 on WDAY Extra and Inform.com. Hot Mic with Dom Izzo. And don't forget, for 99 cents a month for your first 3 months, you can get an all-access pass to Inform.com. Just visit Inform.com/subscribe to get that deal.
And our next newscast is coming up here in just a couple of hours, 11 a.m. this morning. And again this afternoon, 4, 5, 6, 9, and 10 for more WDAY news. And we'll be back tomorrow morning for First News from 5 to 7.
Have a good day, folks. Bye-bye.